YouTube, welcome to the shop. Got a Shinwa Magnetic Stud Finder today. It's a pretty cool little thing. It has a weird, unique thing about this one though, because I mean there's a lot of these on the market, just like there's a lot of the electronic ones. But this one has a like a depth gauge needle, and it's also a locating needle. Meaning, well, I think originally what it was for is in Japan, that's where it comes from. In Japan, traditionally they used a plaster, mud, and straw mix. And it was fairly thick, and sometimes this goes up to 35 millimeters. That's pretty. That's pretty thick. But in America, the only thing we really have to deal with is half-inch sheetrock, so that's a moot point. It's extremely fine needle, so it will bend quite easily. So you got to be very careful. It's not you do not want to try this on plaster, but. What I like to do with it is use it as a marking device, because it will attract quite easily to the nail or screw head, and it sort of centers on that nail head, and you can just push it and give it a little boop, and then you have a mark, and then you can mark that with a a pencil or whatever. But basically, if you sweep across, you eventually will find one, and it makes a little click, and then you can unlock the needle and press it in, and it'll, well, I just locked it, and then mark it. So it's pretty easy. It's a little tedious sometimes depending on the wall, because if they didn't space them very closely together, and if you go too fast, you will skip over them. Also, you don't want to give it a when you're using it, you don't want a firm grip. You kind of want a loose grip so it will pull to it. And that being said, the magnet's strong. It's not strong enough to hold the weight of the tool, so you got to be careful about that, especially on like this right here is a tile floor. So if I wasn't holding it well, it would probably drop and break. One other thing I wanted to say, I'm sure you can see the little thing on the wall here. This is another way of doing it, if you want to go even a cheaper route, is you can just get some rare earth magnets and stick them in a little plastic baggie and just sweep across your wall, and it'll eventually pick one up. So there's one right there. Or you can still use this and use this together, which is what I kind of do, is I've got multiple of these, and if I need to, I can mark several of these and then come back later, basically. I'm sure a lot of you guys have tried the electronic, or may have the electronic stud finders, and a lot of you, I'm sure, have tried or even have the magnetic stud finder. I personally find this to be more accurate a lot more of the time as well. As long as whoever put the nail or screw in the sheetrock, and if it's centered on it or close enough centered, then you've pretty much got it. But like I said, don't forget, you want to make sure you go above or below wherever you find it, because if you don't, you're just going to hit the nail head or screw head.